Chapter 1. Settle in. Close your eyes and just let the room around you fade into the background. The day is done. The endless noise of the rushing world outside your window is quiet now. It is just you in this quiet, peaceful space. Feel the gentle pull of gravity holding you safely, securely. There is nowhere you need to be. There is nothing you need to do right now except to just be here and let your mind drift. Take a slow, deep breath in, letting the cool air fill your lungs, and then softly let it out. As you exhale, imagine the tension leaving your muscles, starting from the very top of your head, easing down through your shoulders, relaxing your arms, your hands, all the way down to your feet. You are safe. You are comfortable. Tonight, we are going to walk through the shadows of history. We are going to wander down quiet paths of thought, exploring mysteries that have lingered in the quiet corners of the world for centuries. These are the thoughts that rest in the space between the stars, the gentle questions that have no easy answers. Just let the sound of my voice guide you as we step into the unknown. If you drift off to sleep, that is perfectly fine. The mysteries will still be here, waiting for you whenever you return. Let us begin with time itself. We trust the calendar on our walls. We trust the dates written in dusty books. But what if time, as we know it, is simply an illusion, a story agreed upon by those who held the pen? There is a gentle, lingering theory, known as the phantom time hypothesis. It suggests a fascinating idea. It whispers that the early Middle Ages, roughly the years between 614 and 911 AD, simply did not happen. Imagine a period of almost 300 years, entirely fabricated. The theory proposes that a Holy Roman Emperor, along with a powerful Pope, wanted to live in the special year of 1000 AD. It was a year that felt significant, a year that held a certain magic. And so, the story goes, they simply added 3 centuries to the calendar. They created phantom years, phantom kings, and phantom events, filling the pages of history with stories that were nothing more than ink on parchment. When you look closely at the architecture from that era, the records, the strange gaps in the archaeological timeline, the edges of the story begin to blur. It makes you wonder, as you lie there in the dark, about the nature of our reality. Are we truly living in the year we believe we are, or are we centuries behind, living out days that were shifted forward by men who wanted to hold the turn of a millennium in their hands? The idea is like a soft mist, clouding the rigid timeline we have always accepted. It is a quiet thought, one that lets you detach from the urgency of the modern world. Time is fluid. It bends, it stretches, and perhaps it has even been written into existence. As that thought settles, let us drift away from the concept of time and move toward the quiet depths of the earth. Long ago, there was a magnificent place of learning, the great library of Alexandria. We have all heard the story of its tragic end, the flames that consumed countless scrolls, turning the ancient knowledge of the world into ash. It is a story of loss, a heavy sigh in the narrative of human history. But there is another theory, a much softer, more hopeful whisper. What if the most valuable scrolls, the true secrets of the ancient world, were never burned? Some believe that the fire was a distraction, a cover for a quiet, organized removal of the library's most profound texts. Before the flames could reach them, scholars and guardians of knowledge carried these scrolls away into the night, hiding them in deep, subterranean vaults. Imagine those hidden chambers, resting silently beneath the shifting sands. Vaults filled with the true history of our origins, lost maps of the stars, and gentle wisdom that has been preserved in the dark for thousands of years. It is said that there are secret societies, quiet groups of individuals who have guarded this knowledge through the centuries, passing it down from generation to generation in the utmost secrecy. Perhaps, somewhere beneath our feet, the library still exists. A quiet, undisturbed sanctuary of human thought. As you sink deeper into relaxation, picture those cool, stone corridors lined with ancient manuscripts. There is no urgency to find them. It is simply comforting to know that they might be there, resting peacefully, just as you are resting now. The world is full of hidden pockets of wonder, waiting patiently in the dark. And as we leave the hidden vaults of Alexandria, we look up. We look past the ceiling of your room, past the clouds, out into the vast, quiet expanse of space. The moon, our constant companion in the night sky, holds its own secrets. For decades, there have been gentle questions surrounding the Apollo missions. The shadows in the photographs, the way the flag seemed to ripple in a place with no wind, the perfectly clear images taken without viewfinders. Some believe that the journey to the moon was a magnificent performance, a stage play crafted on a quiet sound stage here on Earth. They look at the footage and see inconsistencies, little details that seem out of place. It is not an idea born of malice, but of curiosity, a desire to understand the narrative we have been given. But there is an even deeper, more enigmatic theory about the moon. Some quiet observers suggest that the moon is not a natural satellite at all, but rather a hollow structure, an ancient, artificial observatory placed in our orbit by beings we have yet to understand. They point to the way the moon rings like a bell when struck by objects, the perfect way it eclipses the sun, its strange orbit that seems almost too precise to be a mere coincidence. Imagine the moon not as a cold, dead rock, but as a silent sentinel watching over us as we sleep, a vast, hollow sphere resting in the quiet void of space. It is a humbling thought, one that makes the universe feel both endlessly large and strangely intimate. As you drift closer to sleep, let the image of that gentle, glowing orb wash over you. It is a mystery that requires no immediate answer. It is simply a beautiful question, hanging in the sky. Let your breathing remain slow and steady. Feel the comforting weight of your blankets, the soft embrace of your pillow. The mysteries of the world are vast, but they are also peaceful. They are stories that we can explore from the safety of our beds, letting our minds wander through the endless possibilities of the universe. As we journey further, we might encounter tales of lost continents, shifting realities, and the quiet phenomena that exist just beyond the edge of our perception. But for now, just rest, just breathe. Let the gentle current of these thoughts carry you further into the quiet night. Let the world outside fade away entirely. Chapter 2. As we continue our gentle journey, allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into the mattress. Notice the slow, rhythmic rise and fall of your chest. With every breath out, you release a little more of the day. The thoughts of tomorrow can wait. The echoes of yesterday are fading. Right now, there is only the quiet comfort of the present moment and the soft sound of my voice. The world outside your door is still, and your mind is free to wander. Let us wander into a curious phenomenon, something that rests softly at the edge of human memory. It is a shared experience, a quiet ripple in the pond of our collective consciousness, known to many as the Mandela effect. Have you ever remembered something with perfect clarity? The spelling of a childhood storybook, the colors of a familiar logo, a specific line from an old film, only to discover that the world around you insists it was always different. We often brush this off as a simple trick of the mind, a minor error in our personal filing cabinet of memories. But what if it is something more? What if it is a quiet whisper from a reality that sits just slightly out of focus? The theory suggests that our memories are not wrong, but rather that the reality we are in has subtly shifted. It proposes a gentle, almost beautiful idea that we are drifting through a multiverse, moving seamlessly between parallel dimensions that are completely identical, save for a few tiny details. Imagine reality not as a single, solid line, but as a vast, quiet ocean with infinite streams of water flowing side by side. Sometimes these streams cross over one another. Sometimes we drift from one current into the next, entirely unaware of the transition, carrying our memories from the old stream into the new one. When you remember a different name, or a different color, or a different ending to a story, you might simply be holding onto a fragile piece of a previous reality. It is a gentle reminder that the universe is far more complex and far more fluid than we could ever fully comprehend. There is no need to worry about these little inconsistencies. They are just soft glitches in the quiet hum of existence, little reminders that the world is vast and full of infinite possibilities. As you lie here resting peacefully, think about how light and untethered we truly are. We are travelers drifting through the quiet cosmos, moving through realities as easily as breathing. It is a freeing thought. The rigid rules of the world are perhaps not so rigid after all. They bend and sway much like the gentle rhythm of your breathing, in and out. Let that thought float away now like a leaf on a slow-moving river. As it disappears around the bend, let your mind drift high into the atmosphere, looking down upon the high, arid plains of South America. Here, etched into the dry earth, are the Nazca lines. From the ground, they are nothing more than shallow trenches in the dust, pale paths moving through the red pebbles. But from high above, from the perspective of the clouds, they become something magnificent. Massive, intricate drawings of spiders, monkeys, birds, and perfectly straight geometric lines that stretch for miles across the quiet desert. These lines were created over 2,000 years ago. The people who made them carefully moved the darker topsoil, revealing the lighter earth beneath. It was a slow, methodical process, a quiet labor of devotion that took generations to complete. The mystery lies in the perspective. These massive drawings can only be truly understood, only be fully seen from the sky. Why would an ancient people bound to the earth spend their lives creating art that they themselves could never truly see? Some suggest they were walking temples, paths meant to be walked in quiet meditation, asking the gods for rain. But there are other, more curious theories. Some believe these lines were ancient runways, markers created to guide visitors from the stars. They imagine ancient, silent vessels descending from the night sky, using the vast geometric lines as a map, a welcoming signal from the people of Earth. Imagine the deep, quiet desert night thousands of years ago. The air is cool and still. The people wait patiently, looking up at the stars, watching as a soft, glowing light descends slowly from the heavens, hovering silently over the vast drawings they spent their lives creating. Whether they were messages for the gods or guides for ancient travelers, the Nazca lines remain a beautiful, enduring mystery. They are a sign of humanity's deep desire to connect with something larger than themselves, to reach out into the vast, unknown cosmos. As you picture those pale lines stretching across the dark earth, let yourself feel that same connection to the quiet, endless sky. From the dry, dusty plains, let us now travel to the cool, dark depths of the ocean. Beneath the vast waters of the Pacific and Indian Oceans, some believe there lies the quiet memory of a lost continent. Long before the history we know, long before the ancient cities of stone were raised, there was Lemuria. Lemuria is a gentle legend, a story of a peaceful, highly advanced civilization that lived in perfect harmony with the earth. It is said that the Lemurians did not build with cold, hard machines, but with a deep understanding of the natural world. They understood the quiet frequencies of crystals, the soft energies of the earth, and the delicate interconnectedness of all living things. Imagine a vast, lush landmass, bathed in the warm light of a younger sun, a place where towering forests met calm, clear waters, and where the people communicated not just with words but with the quiet transmission of thought and feeling. It was a civilization built on empathy, on a deep, abiding peace. The story tells us that Lemuria did not fall to war or conflict, but rather to the slow, inevitable changes of the earth itself. As the ice caps shifted and the waters rose, the continent gently sank beneath the waves. The people, knowing what was coming, did not panic. They simply prepared. It is whispered that they recorded their vast, peaceful wisdom in crystals, hiding them deep within the earth, waiting for a time when humanity would be ready to understand them again. Some say that the descendants of Lemuria are still with us, living quiet lives, carrying that ancient, peaceful lineage within them. They suggest that the deep, unexplained longing some people feel for a home they cannot name is simply the quiet echo of Lemuria, calling out from the depths of time. Picture those ancient, flooded cities now, resting silently at the bottom of the ocean. They are safe there, untouched by the noise and rush of our modern world. The water holds them in a gentle, dark embrace. Schools of tiny, glowing fish swim slowly through the ruins of crystal towers, and the gentle ocean currents wash over the ancient stones, keeping their secrets safe. As we linger in the waters of the world, let us softly chart a course toward another oceanic mystery, one that rests quietly in the misty Atlantic. For hundreds of years, maps drawn by explorers and sailors featured an island known as High Brassel. It was said to lie just off the coast of Ireland, shrouded in a thick, perpetual fog. According to the quiet tales, the fog would only lift once every 7 years, revealing a lush, perfectly round island, bisected by a gentle, flowing river. Those few who claimed to have stepped foot on its shores spoke of an advanced, peaceful society, of large, quiet animals and stone towers that hummed with a strange, soothing energy. Cartographers trusted these stories so deeply that High Brassel remained on nautical maps until the middle of the 19th century. Explorers sailed through the exact coordinates, over and over, finding nothing but the vast, empty sea. Eventually, it was quietly erased from the maps, dismissed as a myth, a phantom born of sea fog and longing. But what if it was not a myth at all? What if High Brassel is a place that slips in and out of our reality, a landmass that exists on a slightly different frequency? Imagine a beautiful, quiet island, cloaked in mist, floating peacefully just out of sight. It does not want to be found, and so it remains hidden, a secret sanctuary resting softly in the ocean's embrace. Stories like these remind us that the world is not entirely mapped, not entirely known. There is still room for magic, for phantom islands and lost continents to drift quietly in the background of our lives. It is a beautiful, peaceful thought, one that brings a deep sense of calm. The Earth has held many worlds, many civilizations, and it will hold many more. We are just a small, quiet part of a much larger story. As you picture the dark, calm depths of the ocean and the misty shores of Phantom Islands, let your own mind sink deeper into relaxation. Feel the quiet weight of the water around you, not pressing down but holding you up, keeping you entirely safe. The mysteries of the lost continents, the shifting nature of our memories, the messages etched into the desert. They are all just quiet stories now, soft lullabies to help you drift away. Let your body feel heavy, sinking perfectly into the soft surface beneath you. Your eyes are heavy, your breathing is slow, and the world outside has faded away completely. Just rest now. Let the gentle currents of sleep carry you further and further into the quiet, peaceful dark. Chapter 3. As the quiet weight of the ocean gently fades from your mind, let your awareness drift upwards, past the surface of the water, past the rolling clouds, and up into the vast, silent ocean of space. It is so peaceful here. There is no sound, no rush, only the slow, eternal rotation of celestial bodies. The earth below is a soft, glowing marble of blue and white, resting safely in the dark. The stars are scattered like pale dust across the endless canvas of the night, holding their ancient positions, watching over the sleeping world. And as you float in this quiet expanse, we encounter a story of a silent watcher. For decades, there have been whispers among astronomers, amateur stargazers, and radio operators of an enigmatic object orbiting our world. It is known, in hushed tones, as the Black Knight satellite. Long before humanity sent its first metal spheres into the sky, long before the space age even began, strange signals were picked up by early radio pioneers. It is said that even Nikola Tesla, in his quiet laboratory in Colorado Springs, heard these rhythmic, repeating pulses echoing from the void. Some believe these signals were the quiet transmissions of a satellite that does not belong to us. A dark, ancient vessel, wrapped in the shadows of space, silently circling the Earth in a peculiar, retrograde orbit. Imagine it now, a smooth, dark shape gliding effortlessly above the atmosphere. It is entirely silent. It makes no demands. It simply watches. Some theorists suggest it is an ancient probe left behind by a civilization that passed through our solar system thousands, perhaps millions of years ago. It is a cosmic time capsule, waiting patiently for us to reach out and understand its origins. It does not interfere. It just observes the slow turning of our world, the rise and fall of civilizations, the quiet blooming of life. There is something deeply comforting about the idea of the Black Knight. It means we are not alone, that our little blue planet has been noticed by the vast, quiet universe. It is a guardian of sorts, keeping a silent vigil over the sleeping world below. As you lie in your bed, picture that dark, silent satellite passing softly overhead, weaving its invisible path through the stars, wrapping the Earth in a slow, protective embrace. It has been there for millennia, and it will be there long after we are gone, a quiet sentinel in the dark. Let the image of the Black Knight slowly dissolve into the starry background. We are going to gently return to the Earth now, but we are not stopping at the surface. We are going to journey inward. Deep beneath the crust, beneath the soil and the bedrock, lies one of the most enduring and beautiful mysteries of all: the legend of Agartha, the hollow earth. Since the days of ancient explorers and early scientists, there has been a gentle hypothesis that our planet is not a solid sphere of rock and magma, but a magnificent hollow shell. At the very poles of the Earth, hidden beneath the shifting, ancient ice, it is said there are massive, quiet openings, gateways leading down into a vast, sunlit inner world that has remained entirely untouched by the storms and struggles of the surface. Imagine a descent not into darkness, but into a soft, perpetual twilight. As you travel deeper, gravity gently shifts, holding you securely to the inner curve of the Earth's shell. In the center of this vast, hollow space hangs a gentle, glowing core, an inner sun that bathes the world of Agartha in a warm, amber light. This light never fades into night but maintains a constant, soothing glow, creating a perfect, unending afternoon. The stories speak of a pristine, untouched paradise, a place where ancient forests grow tall and green, unbothered by the changing seasons of the surface. The leaves are broad and deeply colored, absorbing the soft light of the central sun. Quiet, crystalline rivers flow slowly through lush valleys, emptying into vast underground oceans that lap gently against sandy shores. It is a world of perfect balance, home to creatures long thought lost to time. Enormous, gentle animals that graze peacefully in the eternal light. And perhaps it is home to an ancient, enlightened civilization, a people who chose to retreat from the noise, the chaos, and the cold of the surface world, taking their wisdom down into the warm embrace of the deep earth. In Agartha, time moves differently. It is slow, deliberate, and deeply peaceful. The inhabitants, if they are there, live in quiet harmony with their surroundings, tending to the lush gardens of the inner earth. They communicate in soft murmurs, their minds connected to the deep, resonant hum of the planet itself. It is a sanctuary, a hidden pocket of absolute tranquility resting safely beneath our feet. When the world above feels too loud, too busy, you can simply close your eyes and imagine this quiet inner paradise. A place where the air is always warm, where the light is always soft, and where the gentle heartbeat of the earth can be felt in every leaf and stone. You can retreat to Agartha in your mind, letting the safety of the deep earth surround you, protecting you from the endless rush of the surface. The earth is not just a rock we stand upon. It is a shelter, a vessel holding a beautiful secret deep within its heart. Take a deep, slow breath. Feel the steady rhythm of your own heart echoing the quiet pulse of that inner sun. Hold the air for a moment and then release it, letting go of any remaining tension in your shoulders and your neck. Now, let us let go of the physical world entirely. Let us drift away from the earth, from the satellites, from the continents, and step into the quiet, boundless realm of the mind. We often assume that the world around us, the feeling of the blankets, the sound of my voice, the gentle breeze outside your window, is the ultimate reality. But what if it is something much more delicate, much more intricately designed? What if everything we experience is a magnificent, gently crafted simulation? Simulation theory is often framed as something cold or mechanical, a rigid matrix of rules and numbers. But it does not have to be. Imagine it instead as a profound act of creation, a gentle terrarium for consciousness. What if an advanced intelligence, perhaps our own distant descendants, created this universe to experience the beauty of a quiet, simple life, to feel the warmth of the sun on their skin, to hear the sound of rain on a roof, to experience the profound, quiet joy of simply existing? In this grand, digital dream, every star in the sky, every blade of grass in the field, every soft sigh you take, is a line of elegant, purposeful code. There are no true mistakes, only variables in a vast, ongoing experiment of experience. When you look closely at a leaf, at the intricate veins and the vibrant colors, you are seeing the masterful rendering of a beautiful program. When you experience a moment of déjà vu, a feeling that you have been here before, or when things seem to fall into place with almost impossible synchronicity, it might just be the quiet hum of the simulation. Little breadcrumbs left by the designers, gentle reminders that you are part of a grander design, a beautifully orchestrated rhythm. If we are living in a dream, a beautifully programmed reality, then there is nothing to fear. The walls around you, the earth beneath you, they are all just softly rendered illusions, designed to give you a place to rest, a place to simply be. You are safe within the code. You are held securely within the dream. Think about the absolute freedom this idea brings. The pressures of the day, the worries of tomorrow, they are all just part of the simulation. They are stories we are playing out, experiences we are quietly gathering. You can observe them without letting them weigh you down. Right now, in this moment, you can pause the game. You can let the processing power of your mind power down, dimming the lights on the outside world. The screen is going dark. The gentle hum of the machine is fading into a soft, rhythmic whisper. The parameters of your reality are softening, blurring at the edges, becoming nothing more than a comforting haze of relaxation. You are just pure awareness now, drifting through the quiet code of the universe. There is no right or wrong. There is no early or late. There is only the gentle, rhythmic flow of data, washing over you like a warm, digital tide. Let your body feel completely weightless, as if the simulated gravity has been gently turned down just for you. Your limbs are heavy with relaxation, sinking into the soft geometry of your bed, yet your mind is light, untethered, floating freely through the cosmic design. Rest now. Let the great simulation wrap you in its quiet, protective embrace. The systems are running perfectly. The universe is taking care of itself. All you have to do is sleep. Let the gentle darkness pull you further and further in. Chapter 4. Let the gentle tide of the digital sea wash away now, leaving only the quiet shore of your own deep relaxation. You are resting so deeply now. Your breathing is a slow, steady metronome, guiding you further down into the quiet dark. Notice the feeling of the air as it enters your slowly expanding lungs, cool and calming, and notice how it warms as it leaves your body, carrying away the last remnants of the day. As you lie there, safe and heavy in your bed, let your mind drift back to the ancient, weathered stones of our world. Think of the great pyramids, standing silent and proud beneath the desert stars, or the massive gray pillars of Stonehenge, resting in the cool, damp morning mist. For centuries, we have wondered how these heavy, impossible stones were lifted. How were they moved across vast distances by people who lived so long before the hum of modern machinery? We are often told stories of endless labor, of thick ropes and wooden rollers, of thousands of hands working in the hot sun to drag these monuments into place. But there is another theory, a much softer, more elegant idea that whispers through the quiet corridors of alternative history. What if these ancient builders did not use brute force at all? What if they used the invisible, gentle power of sound? Acoustic levitation is a concept that rests quietly on the edge of modern science and ancient myth. It suggests that if you find the exact right frequency, the perfect, resonant pitch, you can alter the very gravity around an object. Imagine a group of ancient priests or architects standing in a wide circle around a massive block of limestone. They are not holding ropes or heavy hammers. Instead, they are holding simple, beautifully crafted instruments, perhaps wide brass bowls or long wooden flutes, or perhaps they are simply using the deep, resonant tones of their own voices. They begin to hum, a deep, continuous note that vibrates through the cool air and down into the dry earth. The sound grows not in volume but in purity and resonance, matching the exact internal frequency of the stone itself. And slowly, gently, the massive block begins to lose its connection to the earth. It hovers, just an inch above the ground, floating entirely on a soft cushion of sound waves. It becomes as light as a feather, easily guided into place with nothing more than the gentle, guiding push of a hand. There are quiet stories from travelers who visited the high, isolated mountains of Tibet long ago, who claim to have watched monks lift heavy boulders up steep cliff faces using nothing but the sound of deep, rhythmic drums and long, resonant trumpets. They said the sound would hit the stone, wrapping around it like a blanket, gently canceling out the heavy pull of the earth. It is a beautiful thought, the idea that the greatest, most enduring monuments of our world were not built with struggle but with song. Imagine the air filled with that deep, harmonious humming, a vibration so pure and perfect that it could rearrange the physical world. If you look closely at the science of cymatics, you can see how sound waves naturally guide loose sand into perfect, complex geometric patterns. Sound brings order to chaos. Sound creates form. As you rest here, eyes closed, you can almost feel that soft vibration in your own body. A gentle humming frequency that soothes your tired muscles and clears your wandering mind. The earth has its own quiet frequency, a low, steady hum that vibrates through the soil and the seas, and right now you are perfectly in tune with it. Let that ancient, resonant sound carry away any remaining heaviness in your physical form, making you feel light, weightless, and perfectly at peace. And if sound can hold the physical world, creating shape and defying gravity, we must wonder, what holds our thoughts? What holds the memories of the world? As the deep hum of the levitating stone slowly fades into the distance, let your mind wander into an even more profound, ethereal mystery. It is the concept of the Akashic records. The Akashic records are said to be a cosmic library, existing not in physical space, but in a quiet, non-physical plane of existence. It is a concept found in Eastern philosophy, suggesting that every thought, every emotion, every word ever spoken, and every gentle sigh ever exhaled is recorded and preserved forever in the fabric of the universe. Imagine it not as a building with dusty shelves, but as a vast, glowing ocean of pure information, resting quietly just beyond the veil of our everyday perception. It is the memory of the cosmos itself. In this gentle expanse, nothing is ever truly lost. The silent dreams of an ancient king, the quiet hopes of a farmer looking up at the rain, the soft laughter of a child from 1,000 years ago. They all exist here, perfectly preserved in a state of eternal grace. Those who believe in the Akashic records suggest that when we experience a sudden moment of profound intuition, or a quiet flash of inspiration that seems to come from nowhere, we are actually softly tapping into this cosmic library. We are briefly tuning our minds to the frequency of the universe's memory, pulling a single, glowing volume down from the ethereal shelf. It is a deeply comforting thought. It means that your experiences, your quiet reflections, and the gentle peace you are feeling right now in this very room matter. They are being softly recorded in the grand ledger of existence. You do not need to strive to be remembered, because the universe is already holding your story safely in its vast, loving memory. As you drift closer to sleep, you can let go of the need to hold onto your own thoughts. You can let them gently float up and away, knowing they are safely stored in the endless, quiet library of the cosmos. And sometimes, just sometimes, humanity has tried to capture a small piece of that cosmic library in physical form. From the ethereal ocean of the Akashic records, let us gently return to the physical world, stepping into the quiet, dusty archives of a forgotten earthly library. Here, resting softly on a worn wooden table, illuminated by the gentle, swaying flicker of a single candle, is a book. It is small, bound in soft, worn vellum, and its pages are filled with secrets that have patiently waited for hundreds of years. This is the Voynich manuscript. It is a book that completely defies our understanding. For over a century, the greatest linguists, codebreakers, and quiet historians have gently turned its fragile pages, trying to understand the story it tells. But the manuscript remains entirely silent. It is written in a flowing, elegant script that belongs to no known language. The letters are beautiful, curling and looping across the parchment with a quiet confidence, yet they form words that no human voice has ever spoken. And it is not just the words that are a mystery. The pages are filled with delicate, hand-drawn illustrations of plants, but they are plants that do not seem to exist on our earth. There are flowers with strange, bulbous roots, leaves that spiral in impossible geometric patterns, and quiet, cosmic charts of stars and constellations that match no sky we have ever mapped from our own little blue planet. Some dismiss it as a beautifully crafted hoax, a meaningless puzzle created by a clever artist long ago, meant to amuse or confuse. But there is a softer, more captivating theory. What if the Voynich manuscript is a journal from another place entirely? Perhaps it is a gentle record left behind by a traveler from a parallel reality, a dimension that sits just next to ours. A place where those strange, beautiful flowers bloom in the quiet valleys, and those unknown stars shine softly in the night sky. Or perhaps it is the ultimate record of a dream. A quiet, physical transcription of the landscapes we visit when we close our eyes and let our minds wander into the deep, unknown territories of sleep. The author, whoever they were, may have found a way to bring the gentle, shifting logic of the dream world into the waking realm, capturing the impossible flora and the quiet, strange astronomy of the subconscious mind in careful strokes of ink. Imagine the person who wrote it, sitting by a window hundreds of years ago, dipping their quill into the inkwell, slowly and deliberately drawing those mysterious vines and unknown stars. They were in no rush. They were entirely at peace. They were simply creating a quiet, enduring mystery for the world to ponder. The book does not demand to be understood. It simply exists, a beautiful, silent enigma resting in the dark, much like the mysteries we are exploring tonight. As you lie here, perfectly still, perfectly relaxed, think of the Voynich manuscript not as a puzzle that needs to be solved, but as a gentle reminder that we do not need to understand everything. There is profound comfort in the unknown. There is peace in the mysteries that simply refuse to be unraveled. The world is so much bigger, so much stranger, and so much more beautiful than our waking minds can fully comprehend. You can close your own eyes to the waking world now, and let the strange, beautiful pages of that book blend gently into the landscapes of your own dreams. Perhaps tonight, as you cross the threshold of sleep, you will wander through a wide, quiet field of those impossible flowers. Perhaps you will look up and see a velvet sky filled with those quiet, unfamiliar stars, charting a course through a galaxy made entirely of dreams. The world is full of secrets, but they are gentle secrets. They are soft stories waiting patiently in the shadows, keeping us company in the night. You do not need to figure them out. You only need to observe them, acknowledge them, and let them carry you away. Your breathing is so slow now, so perfectly measured. Your body is heavy, safe, and warm beneath the blankets, yet your mind is as light as a feather, floating on that ancient, invisible frequency we spoke of. The candle in the library of your mind is slowly burning down. The shadows are growing longer, softer, blending seamlessly into the deep, comforting blackness of the night. There is nothing more to do. There is nowhere else to go. Let the words fade into the background. Let the images dissolve into the soft mist of your resting mind. There is only the quiet rhythm of your breath now, in and out, drifting deeper and deeper into the peaceful, silent dark. Chapter 5. Let the heavy, ancient stones and the quiet, mysterious pages of forgotten books slowly fade from your mind. They are returning to the shadows, safely tucked away in the archives of history. You are still here, resting securely in the quiet darkness of your room. Your breathing is slow, steady, and entirely automatic. You do not need to control it. You just need to observe it, feeling the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the soft rhythm that guides you deeper and deeper into a state of profound relaxation. The air around you is calm. The night is holding you in its peaceful, steady hands. Imagine, for a moment, the vast, invisible ocean that surrounds us all. Not an ocean of water, but an ocean of unseen waves, quietly traveling through the air, passing through the walls, and crossing over the vast, dark continents while the world sleeps. Long before the glowing screens of the modern age, long before satellites mapped every corner of the globe, the night air was filled with the soft, static hum of shortwave radios. People would sit in dim, quiet rooms, bathed in the amber glow of the radio dial. They would slowly turn the heavy tuning knob, listening to the gentle crackle of the world talking to itself. And hidden deep within that static, resting softly on the most obscure frequencies, are the number stations. For decades spanning across the entire globe, these mysterious stations have broadcast quietly into the night. If you were to tune your radio to one of these frequencies, you would not hear music and you would not hear the news. You would hear a soft, methodical voice. Sometimes it is the voice of a woman, calm, professional, and endlessly patient. Sometimes it is the voice of a child, reciting numbers in a slow, hypnotic, and rhythmic cadence. 4, 8, 1, 2, 9. These broadcasts happen at specific, unannounced times. They echo across the vast oceans, bouncing gently off the upper layers of the atmosphere and falling softly into the receivers of whoever happens to be listening. Governments do not openly acknowledge them. No official entity claims them. They are just quiet voices in the dark, speaking a language of pure, impenetrable mathematics. The most common, grounded theory suggests that they are encrypted messages meant for quiet observers. People living entirely ordinary lives in far-off countries, sitting at a small desk in the middle of the night, waiting for a specific sequence of numbers to guide them. It is a slow, old-fashioned method of communication. It is entirely unbreakable, relying only on a simple radio and a small, disposable pad of paper hidden away in a dusty drawer. But there is a softer, more poetic way to think about these stations. Imagine them as a steady heartbeat of the radio age, a continuous, soothing pulse in the invisible spectrum. The voices never rush. They never raise their tone. They never express worry or urgency. They simply speak out into the void, a gentle reminder that even in the vastness of the empty night, someone is always broadcasting, someone is always out there, casting a quiet line into the dark. If you imagine that voice now, reciting numbers in a calm, steady rhythm, it becomes a sort of lullaby, a quiet, numerical metronome for your resting mind. Each number spoken is another step further down into absolute relaxation. Each long pause between the digits is a moment of deep, settling peace. The world is full of these hidden signals, these quiet mysteries that ask absolutely nothing of us. They just exist, playing their part in the background, while we safely close our eyes and drift away. As the quiet voice on the radio softly clicks off, leaving only the gentle hiss of static, let your mind drift away from the invisible waves of the air and bring your awareness back to the solid, ancient earth. Deep in the lush, green jungles of Central America, hidden beneath the thick, overlapping canopy of broad leaves and ancient, twisting vines, explorers have occasionally unearthed something truly beautiful and entirely unexplained. The crystal skulls. These are life-sized carvings, shaped from single, massive blocks of pure, clear quartz. When you look at them, they seem to catch the ambient light in a way that feels almost deliberate, glowing with a soft, internal luminescence. The true mystery lies in their absolute, unwavering perfection. Quartz is an incredibly hard material. It is a stubborn stone that resists the chisel, the blade, and the intentions of the sculptor. To carve it with such precise, anatomical accuracy, without leaving a single scratch or microscopic tool mark, seems physically impossible for the ancient hands that supposedly made them. Some gentle researchers quietly wonder if they were shaped over many generations. Perhaps they were slowly and patiently smoothed with nothing but fine sand, water, and endless time. A labor of profound, quiet devotion that took hundreds of years, passing from the hands of one artisan to the next. But there are other, more extraordinary whispers about the true nature of these glowing stones. Quartz is a remarkable, resonant material. We use it today in our watches, in our computers, in the very heart of our most advanced technology. Quartz has the unique ability to store information, to hold a perfectly steady frequency, to remember. What if the crystal skulls are not just sculptures meant to be looked at? What if they are ancient, quiet repositories of profound knowledge? Imagine an ancient civilization, one that understood the subtle, magnetic energies of the earth far better than we do today. Instead of writing their history on fragile paper or carving it into weathering stone, they encoded their memories, their wisdom, and their peaceful understanding of the cosmos directly into the geometric, crystalline structure of the quartz. The skulls in this theory are like ancient, sleeping hard drives. They are waiting patiently for the right frequency, the right tone, to softly awaken them. It is a quiet legend that there are exactly 13 of these true skulls scattered across the earth. The story whispers that one day, when humanity is finally ready, these 13 stones will be brought together. They will form a complete, quiet grid of ancient resonance, projecting a gentle, holographic history of the world and revealing the true, peaceful origins of our species. Whether they are ancient, crystalline records or simply masterpieces of patient, loving craftsmanship, they are beautiful, calming objects to hold in your mind's eye. Picture one now, resting safely on a soft, dark velvet cloth in a quiet, darkened room. A single pale beam of moonlight catches the smooth curve of the quartz, illuminating the intricate, clear depths of the stone. It is perfectly silent. It is perfectly still. It radiates a deep, calming energy that washes gently over you, smoothing out your thoughts. It is a comforting reminder that the earth holds its own memories. The stones, the crystals, the deep, ancient layers of soil, they are all keeping a quiet record of time. You do not need to hold onto your own memories, your own worries so tightly. The earth is remembering for you. You can just let go. As the glowing image of the crystal slowly dims, blending back into the dark, let us travel to a place where the earth itself seems to be speaking. We are going to a small, quiet desert town in the American Southwest, surrounded by high, flat mesas and an endless, starry sky. Here, resting on the very edge of human perception, is a phenomenon known simply as the Tao's hum. It is a low, continuous frequency, a soft, distant rumbling that only a small fraction of the people living there can hear. It does not sound like a machine or a passing train, or the hum of electricity. It sounds more like the deep, resonant idling of a massive, distant engine, or perhaps the quiet, steady breath of the earth itself. For years, acoustical scientists have placed highly sensitive microphones in the quiet desert, trying to capture the sound, trying to pinpoint its exact origin. But the instruments often record absolutely nothing, only the soft rustle of the wind through the dry sagebrush. The hum seems to exist just outside the range of typical recording devices, reserving itself only for the delicate, quiet tuning of the human ear. Some believe it is the sound of the Earth's tectonic plates shifting miles beneath the surface. A slow, immense geologic friction creating a frequency so low that it is felt as a vibration in the bones, rather than a sound in the eardrums. Others softly suggest it is the sound of the ionosphere, the quiet interaction of solar winds meeting the magnetic field of our planet, a vast cosmic hum translating itself into a gentle, earthly vibration. But there is a more mysterious and deeply comforting thought. What if the hum is simply the sound of the Earth's natural resonance? A quiet baseline frequency that has always been there, hidden beneath the loud, rushing noise of the modern world. For those who can hear it, it is not a disturbance. It is a grounding anchor, a physical reminder that the planet is alive, humming its own quiet, steady tune in the vast, dark auditorium of space. Imagine lying in a comfortable bed in that quiet desert town. The stars are bright and clear outside the window. The air is cool and still. And just beneath the silence, just at the edge of your hearing, you can feel that soft, low vibration. It is a comforting, protective presence, a steady companion in the lonely night. It tells you that everything is connected. It tells you that the earth is holding you safely, vibrating with a slow, steady energy that perfectly matches the slowing, peaceful rhythm of your own heart. Your breathing is so deep now. Your body feels wonderfully heavy, sinking perfectly into the mattress. The radio waves, the ancient crystals, the humming of the desert earth, they are all just soft, distant lullabies now. They are fading away into the background, leaving you with nothing but the quiet, comforting darkness. There is no rush to find the answers to these mysteries. They are beautiful exactly as they are, unsolved, quiet, and patiently waiting. You can leave them all behind now. Just rest. Let the gentle current of sleep carry you away, down into the deep, peaceful quiet of the night.